In this video, we're going to talk about the new Sigma 50mm 1.4 DGDN art lens. That DGDN means that this is a lens specialized for mirrorless cameras, and it comes in L mount and an E mount for the Sonys. I've got the L mount version here. We're going to put it on the Panasonic S5 and see if this is worth the $850 price tag. This is the third art lens I've ever gotten my hands on, and one thing you can always rely on is that these Sigmas are built like a tank. There's not much plastic, just shiny metal surfaces, cold to the touch, and they can definitely take a beating. Lots of manual controls on this lens, which has been very nice to get my hands off the knobs and be able to adjust everything without stopping and looking. But you do have to retrain your brain to remember that now you've got your aperture and a few other things that you can mess with now on the lens. There's also a customizable button on the side, which gives you a lot of options. I'll put a list up on the screen of everything you can assign to that. There's a click or no click switch depending on what you like. I like the clicks. There's also a lock switch, so you're not changing anything on accident because it is very easy to crank that aperture on accident. But overall, super solid build quality. It's dust and splash resistant. These Sigmas have that gasket on them to keep that extra little bit of moisture and dust out. When you're shooting with this lens, you can rest assured that you are going to get some super sharp images, and that is where your money is going to go with this lens. When you up your budget on the lenses, the images are just going to keep getting better and better. It's unfortunate that we have to pay to play, but that's just how the world is. Autofocus on this lens is super fast. I was really impressed. No hunting, just locks right on. And they have added a whole new servo motor to help make it really quick and nimble, and also very silent when it's zooming around looking for autofocus. You can crank this down to f1.4, you get that nice bokeh and blurred backgrounds, but like a lot of other reviewers, I did notice some of that cat's eye bokeh in the corners and edges, but it's not the end of the world and the images look really beautiful. If you bring that f-stop up to 8, there's no more cat's eye at all. There were also some findings about the magenta and green color fringing that's happening, but I really have not noticed this much at all. Now this is a very bright lens, so keep in mind that you're going to need an ND filter when shooting outside. I had this all the way down on sunny 16s and the lowest ISO, and it would still be a little overexposed in the sky and clouds. Some of the cons for this lens is that there is some focus breathing, so if you're doing a lot of those rack focuses, you're going to see some movement. This is also a heavy lens. I mentioned that these are built like tanks, and tanks are heavy, so be prepared for having an extra little chunk of weight hanging off your neck. If you're trying to do macro shots with this, you're going to have to stay about 1.5 feet away from your subject, so not true macro mode. And really, that's about it. It's hard to find much wrong with these Sigma art lenses. They've really figured out a good formula for these things and have stuck to it, offering a super solid lens at a good competitive price. So if you're looking for a nifty 50, the Sigma is definitely a contender to look at. Overall, I would say this new DGDN art lens is a great investment for anyone looking to up their photography game. 50mm is a classic focal length and was a favorite of many of our best directors in the past, so it's a great lens to get your chops on, and in the process you're going to get some really amazing photos, portraits, and video footage with this if you don't mind the extra weight. So I hope this helped you get some eyes on this new Sigma, and if you could be so kind, please hit that subscribe button down below, and then we can stay in touch for some more new lenses, new cameras, new stuff to make content with. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you at the next one. Take care.